Hello, it says we're live. I'm going to check on YouTube very quickly.
Looks live to me.
YouTube always makes me reload. Like, it never just shows the start of a live stream for me. Okay, we are live. YouTube has confirmed it on my end. And I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves right after they pick the final card for this. Because the first time I did a Trees with Tarot live stream, we were picking them like in real time, I guess you would say, during the stream. And it just slowed things down more than necessary. So while they are shuffling, I guess, and picking the card, I'm going to explain what a Trees and Tarot live stream is if you've only been to my Plant a Forest with Me live streams. So in my Plant a Forest with Me live streams, I use the Forest app. Oop, ring light really getting in the way there. The Forest app. This is the logo. It is available on iOS and is the other option just called Android? They're not. Yeah. Android. And they it's a productivity app where you set a timer, and if you touch your phone in that time, the digital tree that you're planting dies. If you have deep focus mode on, I have deep focus mode turned off when I do these, because if one person kills the tree, it's not fair to everyone else, which is like the point of it. But you know, people come here because they also want the trees. So the Trees and Tarot live stream does all of that. But at the start of each sprint, my guest and I share a card that we have pulled. We alternate who pulls the card to serve as an optional writing prompt. And starting this month, I used to do 4 20-minute sprints. And starting this month, I have moved it to 5 sprints total, but it is still 80 minutes of sprinting because it is 10, 3 20s, and then a 10 at the end. So kind of like a warm up and a wind down sprint. So I think that's a good explanation. And
I think that's a very good explanation.
And if you have pulled the card and want to tell me what it is in the private chat, that will be great. I'm going to say hello to some people who are in the public chat. So we have Mercer, hello, Miguel, Carrie, hello. I don't know if you've been to my channel before. If you haven't, I'm forgetting. I deeply apologize. I had a bit of a slum morning. But if you are new here, welcome. Regina, hello. Surprise, I'm already awake. Thank you, canines. Thank you, Regina's canines, too. I mean, Regina's always here, but she got here early because they woke her up. She's 3 hours behind me, so it is 6 a.m. for her.
Right.
I always want to say like ahead and behind, and for some reason it should be easy, but it's not in my head for some reason. Okay. Mercer just got a new idea for a story and loves it, and it's a romance, which they don't normally do, but they're very excited. That is awesome. Regina, who writes a ton of romance, says that's a wonderful thing. Clutches here has coffee and Valentine's Day chocolate. Yum. My mom and I didn't buy any Valentine's Day stuff.
Us either.
Okay. Like, I know the day before Valentine's Day is Valentine's Day, but honestly, my mom and I didn't do anything for Valentine's Day, so Valentine's Day is kind of our Valentine's Day. Let's see if people are saying hello to each other. Sharon, hello. This was everyone saying hello to us once we went live, which I'm going to skip. 10, 20, 20, 20, 10. Yes, for people who want it detailed out, the sprints. Crow is here. That's okay. We haven't started any sprints or anything. I just gave an explanation of how this works. I am sorry you spilled coffee everywhere. I hope it didn't ruin anything. Oh.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm not totally sure how to respond to that because that just seems very specific. But I'm sorry you spilled. I never have deep focus on. I monitor the camera in my daughter's room when she's napping. Yeah, that makes sense. I have deep focus on when I plant on my own.
Yeah.
But not when I'm hosting this thing, because I've had too many mishaps where, you know, someone's phone like has gotten a call that they need to answer. And like sometimes it doesn't kill the tree and other times it does. And I'm just like, you know what? Morning. Lurked but never participated. Okay. I'm not going crazy. I always try to remember my guests, and then my co-host will be like, oh my God, you remember everyone. And I'm like, I'm glad you think so. I try very hard. Everyone's saying sorry about the coffee. Have a romance project and a romance. Cupid and Psyche, please, today? Or are you doing the fan fiction today? I mean, write whatever you want to write, but I just really want to read your Cupid and Psyche fan fiction, normal fiction. So I will always push that as hoping it's your primary project. Grocery shopping, time to rate in. Yeah. Lost a world. Doc, well, luckily got it back. That's scary. I do remember you, Keenan. I need to set up the forest room. I told you it was a slow morning.
Totally fine.
So I'm gonna set that up. Oh, that first card. Yikes. But it's a writing card, so it's not as yikes.
Yeah. I had some bad pulls this week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
had some bad pulls this week too. This week was I had a pretty good week the week before, and then this week was like, you had a really high up, we're going to bring it down a bit. I was like, oh, I could have done without this.
Yeah. Sometimes it just is that way.
Life gets you sometimes. Okay, yep. I am posting the forest room code up on screen and the card, and most of you won't know what the card means, so then I'll throw it over to Sage to explain what the card means as I then find the link so that people can also just join the forest room by clicking it in the chat. So forest room code is, and these are randomly generated, so if there's like a funny joke from the letters, I wish I could claim credit, but it's not me. Okay. So Sage, why don't you explain what this is? I'm also going to post the meaning of the card in the chat if people want to see it during the sprint and, you know, maybe they forget what it means. And then we'll start the sprint once people have started joining. There we go.
Okay.
Cool. That's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry. My brain's a little scattered today.
Totally fine. Don't even stress about it. Okay. So our card for the sprint is the 9 of Knives. I'm using the Vampire Tarot deck. So knives are equivalent to swords in other decks. And this card represents fear, constraint, and the inability to move forward, overthinking, and being trapped in one's own thoughts. So this is I am my own worst enemy kind of card.
Yes.
Let me see. Can I do this? Hang on. I managed it last time.
Yes. But
how did I do it last time?
I think you had it a little further back so we could see more of the card.
I think I did have it a little further back.
Yeah, like you had it there, but I don't know how you did it.
I don't know how I did it either because my... Hang on.
Is that a tissue box? No.
No, this is the box that the deck came in.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to quickly hide this so I can turn it into a ticker so people know.
It doesn't really work, but it's better than nothing.
No, that works. It blocks your beautiful face, but it works.
People don't need to see my face.
Yes, we do. By the way, tonight, Eastern Standard Time, so in like 12 hours, Sage, right? 12 hours? Sage is hosting a karaoke on their stream, and I will post that in the chat.
Not 12 hours. It's at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, why did I see 9:30 somewhere?
9:30 South African.
There. Okay. I was wrong. I'm glad I asked. Okay. I will post that link towards the end of the stream. But with that said, we're going to jump into our first sprint.
I need the room code, please.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Poor Sage. Was busy working on that the whole time, and then I took it away. I'm going to pop it in the private chat for you, Sage.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Because I already removed it from the banner.
That's totally fine.
My bad. Yeah. The code, or do you want me to send you the link?
No, the code is fine.
Okay. I promise normally I'm more organized than this during the sprints.
It's
so
totally
come back next
fine.
Sunday, I should be on the ball.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay. Mercer still has a minute of their own tree. I mean, Mercer, if it's already 9:12, we could wait another minute. It's not gonna like throw a wrench into everything if you want us to wait for you.
I mean, it's really not.
Yeah. It's not like you're like, oh, I just started a tree or I have like 12 minutes left.
Okay, Mercer's tree is done.
Great. So, Mercer, if you scroll up in the chat, the link should be there. Just waiting until Mercer gets into the room. Klacha, lol, my last scene sparked a romance between my characters, Mercer and Cassius. That's funny. Well, not a romance, but an interest. Well, you need interest to get to romance, so yeah, never say never. Mercer, are you in the room yet?
Mercer is in.
Okay, great. The comment just came through. StreamYard's a pain in the butt. Okay, we're going to start the first sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. that was the end of the first sprint. How did everyone do?
I have to math.
Okay. I didn't do any writing. I was just setting up the banners for the future sprints. And I voted for the name Abigail for Mercer's book.
Oh, cool.
Chat.
I have done my math.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote 70 words.
Awesome. I love this for you, Mercer. Love it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to post the forest room code just while we chat.
That is a good idea.
Once I find the frickin' tree. There we go. Sorry. I've unlocked so many. They're all over the place. Subtle flex right there.
Yep. Humble brag.
Yeah. Because the forest room code will be up on screen, I will not be putting up other comments unless it's really funny. So yes, I will be reading comments, but I won't necessarily be. Oh my God. Sorry. Forgive me. I'm just trying to find something. Just a second. Okay, forest room link is also in the chat. Okay, so what have people done? Only 2 sentences in and somebody's already dead, Mercer said. Awesome. This isn't a romance book, by the way. Klacha got no words. Mercer reiterated that they wrote 2 sentences and someone died. So, yeah, productive. Very, very
fair.
Productive. Klacha's eating chocolate.
I hope you brought enough for the class.
Yes. Oh, speaking of, that was such a teacher voice. That reminds me, I need to put up the internet parent banner, even though I have the internet parent with me on screen for the first time in a while.
Indeed.
Yes. So if you would like to read it out loud, you can, but it is also there.
Folks, remember to stretch, hydrate, save your work, and Hulk smash that like button.
Thank you. Okay. Keenan wrote 205 words. Miguel wrote 93 for Bridgerton fanfic. So no Cupid and Psyche this morning, I'm assuming. But 93 is awesome. 68 for Crow. Pushed through the paragraph I was stuck on. That's great. And I don't mean that facetiously. I realize my tone might make it sound like that. Carrie typed 352 words, hand wrote a few lines of my outline. Cool. Do you outline by hand and then draft by typing, or do you handwrite your outline and handwrite your draft but then type it up? I'm just curious because you clearly do aspects of both, and I'm just wondering how you break it up. Hannah came in. Hello. Keenan, all you have to do is just click the link that I'm posting in the chat if you don't want to enter the code, which you enter the code by clicking on the icon, the flame icon, or the people icon. It opens the same menu, and you turn on Plan Together mode. Clock almost halfway. Oh my God, I scrolled. almost halfway done with the first draft, 5K away from 50K, which is one more week and then only 10 weeks left. Keenan is grabbing water now because of the PSA and hit 15K. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Eva says, I can close a tab every time I finish a step. I have 32 left. Oh, okay. Sorry. I missed an earlier comment. I was like, that obviously is referring to something and I missed it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Eva says, I'm 20% into one task of 4 for objective 1. And then, okay. We'll get into the next, that I'm taking that as we should start sprinting soon. So we will in a moment. Crow will be beta reading for the next sprint based on a wheel choice generator. Okay, Carrie is handwriting the outline and then typing it into Scrivener. Katja doesn't understand how people do NaNoWriMo. That's okay. And Miguel's also listening to a Greek mythology podcast, and the episode is about Cupid and Psyche. Oh. If you're in the force room and then you tap your screen, theoretically you would kill the tree for everyone, which wouldn't be great, but I have that feature turned off, so nothing should happen. But you shouldn't be touching your phone during the sprint. That's the point of the app. Right. Even if you keep focus mode turned off. Keenan, just because I reached another goal does not mean I'm done. Yeah, no, I mean, I know that. We all know that. I'm just saying 19K is a nice celebration. Hannah's going to clean up her room and then use the sprints for reading. Awesome. Also, hello, Sophia. Okay, it looks like I'm in the force room. So we're going to start our first 20-minute sprint of the morning, and we're going to start. Oh, right. It's based on the host. So Keenan, you should turn off deep focus mode on your phone. I always forget this. I find that so stupid because if you're in the group, it should be based on what the host said.
Right. I agree.
Because if everyone has different settings and someone's in the group and then kills the tree and the host is like, I don't know what happened, which has happened to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Regina's reading my book.
Woohoo!
Makes me so happy. Okay. Keenan turned it off. And Crow's laughing. Regina and Crow are my 2 current monthly subscribers on Ko-fi. And I appreciate you all. And the link is in my description. And I will also put up a banner on here once the sprint starts. Speaking of, hide this. Hide the code because it won't be accurate once the sprint ends. And we're going to start in 3, 2.
You haven't done the card yet.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you. I had it in the banner. I was like, oh, we're done. No, we're not done. We are not done. This is why I have co-hosts to help keep me ready when I mess up like this. I normally don't mess up this much, people. I apologize. Okay. So the meaning is kind of in the banner too, but this is the 6 of Cups. In my deck, a lot of decks have more, how do I say this? Like card-specific art, but my deck has basically one image for every single suit, and then the number just changes in the illustration. So the 6 of Cups is childhood memories, nostalgia, youth, playfulness, and innocence. So you can take that however you want, whether that means you write a story that makes you feel that way or your characters in a story feel that way, whatever you want. You also don't have to use this as a writing prompt at all. These are all optional. So we're finally going to start this sprint. We love our dogs. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. How did everyone do?
Sorry. Mute myself. I did 117 words.
Oop,
and then Amazon Prime Video because I need to check something.
You froze for a bit, but you're okay. So what about Amazon Prime Video?
Oh. I was trying to log into Amazon Prime Video because I need to check something for the story that I'm writing. And my computer is just having a hissy fit. So, oops.
Struggling a bit.
Just a little.
My energy. Eva said that it's adorable when I'm clumsy. So I'm glad you and Sage find it endearing. I'm posting the link to the next forest room in the chat now, and then I will see how people did in the chat. There were lots of discussions happening. There was one about Ko-fi versus Patreon, and Carrie has a Ko-fi set up for NICU moms and said what it is in the chat. And then Sage has one and a Patreon. And I think Sage currently uses Patreon more, but I'm trying to get them to ditch Patreon in favor of Ko-fi.
I am actually going to move over to Ko-fi.
Yeah! Yes! If you want gold, let me know, and then I'll gift it to you.
I'm down for that.
By the way, because I think this is super important, I'm going to put this comment up if people want to look it up. It's Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/ and then Project Nikki Mom. I'll put that in the chat too, so people can just click on it.
Awesome.
I'll donate to it later. I just didn't have time to during this sprint. Regina's considering setting one up. There were some comments that were really cute. Yeah, Regina was like, be sure to visit Zara's Ko-fi page. It's a sterling example. And I was like, thank you. So I thanked them both in the chat when that happened. And now people have done progress reports. So let's see. What do you guys think of this as an opening sentence? Death has always been kind. Life, on the other hand, has always been cruel, but only because he had to be. I'm intrigued.
I like it.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm curious that life is a he. Because I feel like most people assume that life is female and death is male if one or the other is gendered. Gendered. I'm like, what's the adjective? My brain is having lots of misfirings this morning. But there is Sandman where death is a female. So there is that. But I just found it interesting. But I'm all for it. Klacha 277. Hannah was very productive in making the bed, got dressed, brushed teeth, listened to a chapter and a half of an audiobook. Awesome. Mercer 300 words. Eva has 24 tabs open currently. And was it how many before? It's a lot of scrolling and I'm not finding it even as I do. So I don't know what the change in tabs was for Eva. Sorry. Let's see. Petra got 308. Brianna got 534. Carrie got half a page written and husband is making fresh coffee. That's awesome. Those of you with partners, I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day wherever you are, and be safe because we are still in the middle of a pandemic. But also thank you all for being here this morning with me instead of being with your partners. Oh, sorry, that was just a reminder for something. Katra remembered an important detail about the city they're going to. That's good. People are saying they don't have this tree. Regina donated to the project NICU Mom and liked the opening line. Oops, Sage is having some difficulties. Okay, Sage is back. Whoa, the comments jumped. Okay, 93 words for Miguel. Kofi and Twitch crossovers, 21 trends for sure. I mean, Sage is the one who kind of got me over to Twitch. Like, because I know Kate Kavanaugh was doing it, but I wasn't sure if it was worth it because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And then Sage recommended Streamlabs OBS, and I was like, you know what? I'm cool with that. We're going to jump into the next sprint soon, I promise everyone. There isn't, but if people start a Ko-fi account and then DM me on Instagram, which is just my name, Zara Hoffman with no space, saying, I started a Ko-fi, this is my URL because you recommended it, I can screenshot it and then send it to them, and then I get a little reward for the people I bring over, but you don't have to. It's a desert, has large dragons. Love Chinese style dragons. Dragon in Mandarin is long, so that's why it works out. Snake dragons, they live in the sand, deep in it. Dang, I would not want to accidentally step on a dragon. I feel like I'd just get incinerated. Dad finally left, so I can finally sprint for this one. That is good to hear, Crow. Very large dragons, 100-meter long ones. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. Regina likes the opening line for Mercer. Carrie thanked me for sharing the URL. Blah, blah, blah. Klacha says, bold of you to assume I'm partnered. I have a dog. I mean, I have a dog and my mom, but I know there are some people in this chat who have partners. So to them, I am saying thank you for being here. Instead of being with your partner, I thank all of you for being here, just period.
Yeah.
Yes. Good night, Miguel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you at my next one. Okay, I got to the bottom of the comments, and we're going to start the next sprint once I get the banners properly set up. Yes, thank you.
With the card.
Yes, with the card. Jeez.
Okay, hang on. Let's not do that one yet. So the card for the sprint is the Hermit. It's the Hermit. The Hermit is the same across pretty much all decks.
It goes well because the one for this is a house.
I love that.
It paired up well. Paired up. I'll stop now.
Sarah, I love you.
I love you too.
So the Hermit symbolizes solitude, or simply the desire to be alone, an unsatisfied hunger, or a challenge in which one must avoid being used by another for their gratification alone. It's a little bit of a take time to protect yourself, take care to protect yourself. kind of card. Know when it's time to be by yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now we could put that up there.
Yes. And we're going. There we go. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. that was the end of our third sprint and our second 20-minute sprint. We have one more 20-minute sprint and then a 10-minute sprint.
Excellent.
Are you mathing?
I'm mathing. 217.
Woo! Setting up the next forest room. I haven't really been giving updates for like the last two sprints because I basically like ate breakfast and drank tea. I'm hoping the caffeine from the tea will kick in soon and I'll stop being an adorable ditz.
You've got to do what you got to do.
Okay, let me put the code up on screen. I haven't done the military alphabet in a while, so I have to look it up again. 6 for November whiskey, Sierra, Delta, Quebec. There were letters in there that I knew and I just didn't trust myself.
Yeah. I'll be honest, Q always gets me.
See, Q was so weird, so I remember that one, but I forgot Sierra. I'll also post. Hi, Sarah. I'll also post a link to the forest room in just a second. Okay, forest room is linked in there. Okay, Shanice came in right before the start of that last sprint, but I didn't really get to say hello out loud. Claudia was saying that the Maltesers chocolate bar that she has doesn't taste like actual Maltesers. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's just stale. Maybe like, no offense.
Maybe.
Hannah had taken out the trash, so was ready to get some beta reading done for that sprint. I hope you did. Let me know. I love how I can write plot lines for my characters, Claudia wrote. And when I'm creating them only to realize I completely ignore it because it was the most insignificant thing ever. Yeah, I don't really write backstories for my characters. I feel like a lot of people do, which is great, you know, because then they really know their characters. But I know my characters enough that if there's a situation that I put them in or like, you know, some inspiration where it's like, oh, do this scene. I know them well enough to know how they'll react in the moment, but I don't necessarily like have a whole backstory and be like, oh, they reacted this way because of this way. But sometimes as I'm writing why they reacted, then my brain is like, oh, this is in their backstory. So, but I don't have it like ready to go, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend not to do backstories before I start writing, but as I write, I'll figure out what the character's backstory is and make notes for myself.
Yes. I forgot to put the code up. Like I said it out loud and then I forgot to put it up. Eva's moving on to task 2. Claudia got 147. Shanice needs advice again, so drop it in the chat and I will get to it before we start the next sprint. Quebec doesn't have a W. No, we're talking about the military alphabet, where every letter has a word associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Eva was reading the blurb to Can't Catch My Breath. Yes. if you haven't read Sarah's books,
Mm-hmm.
read them. They're all young adult contemporary romance, and they're all great. The first two are very cute. Like the What Are Friends For is super cute. The second one has like some more angst in it because of someone's family. And then If the Broom Fits, super angsty, and Can't Catch My Breath, the most recent one, super angsty. And I like the angstier ones, but I like all of them. Alex Ann, hello. Hannah read the first chapter of the second book in my Stellar Blood series and loved it. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. I'm so glad to hear that. As a neighbor of Quebec, okay, Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That's what you were saying about the W. When I'm around other French people, I say it properly. And then when I haven't been around them in a while, like I add the W as if I were saying, you know, closer to Q, like in English or in British English. And so thank you. Quebec. Oh, and I wrote like 50 words in Project Dragon. Awesome, Hannah. Mercer commissioned someone to draw Abigail.
Awesome.
Shanice has her question. Hold on, wait. Can any of you hear my mom talking very loudly on the phone, or is that just me?
I can hear that she's talking,
I want to close
but
the
I
door.
can't hear what she's saying.
I was watching a live stream yesterday with Helene Foy and Jasmine Dayton, and they were talking about how, you know, like a lot of the times when they're filming or even if they're on a stream, it's like what they hear is super loud and they don't know whether or not other people can hear it. So,
yeah.
Okay. Shanice says, Zara, remember how I was saying my MC's backstory came out as she solved cases? Should I weave it into the story's alternate present day chapters and past chapters? I wouldn't necessarily give it a whole chapter. Like if you could just weave it in as a flashback when it's necessary. Like don't do a giant flashback dump of multiple. You know what I mean? Like just if something in the present triggers a flashback, just show the flashback that's relevant, and then go back to the present and keep moving, and then rinse and repeat until.
New York.
I love it, but sometimes it's a pain in my eardrum sometimes.
That's
Mercer
okay.
also did writing in addition to commissioning the character art. Jesse is here. Jesse is live streaming at noon, which is a little bit less than an hour and a half from now. I will leave a link to her stream in the chat closer to the time that we're ending so people can go there. And then Sarah Sutton is hosting sprints tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So after this, you could go to Jesse for some writing, and then Sage for some karaoke, and then Sarah for some more writing. I support my AuthorTube friends.
Woohoo.
And my friends through AuthorTube who don't have channels. Them too.
Yes.
Like Shanice. Although Shanice, when are you going to start a channel, huh? When are you going to start a channel? My characters tell me about themselves during the first 10 chapters.
Yeah.
My first 10 chapters is the entire book. Kasha writes like really, really long chapters. So.
I tend to write really, really short chapters.
My longest chapter is 4,000 words. And most mine are between like are around the 2,000 range.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it goes like below 1,000, like if it's especially if it's at the end of a book where the pace really picks up. But and then sometimes if it's like a really big chapter where like a lot of stuff happens, it can go up to like 3,000-ish. But one time it went to 4,000. I was like, I can't cut this. Like, I can't break it up. Like, it just didn't work with the flow. So I was like, okay, this is the longest chapter I've ever written and probably will ever write.
Yeah, I think my shortest chapter was about 400 words, but my longest chapter was 2,800. So, like, I write short chapters.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up reading books with varying chapter lengths. Like, I read Harry Potter, author be damned, when I was younger, before any of this stuff happened. So I read that, and then I read Maximum Ride by James Patterson, and he would sometimes have one sentence long chapter or like one paragraph or one page long chapters. And then I was also reading his Dark Materials trilogy, which were really long chapters. So it's like, to me, it's all about the story. I don't really care about chapter length. But if I'm reading a chapter and it feels long, sometimes I'll like flip ahead to see how many more pages. And if I see that's a lot, I'm like, whew.
Yeah. We'll just put that down and come back to it later.
Yeah. New York, New York. Wee-oo. Yeah. Sounds like Toronto. Which is why my mom and I love it, because it reminds us of New York. Wow, so many people are streaming today. I love it. Yeah. Feeling really productive today. Great. Maybe I'll see you on one of these other people's streams, because I'll be popping into all of them. Because like Sarah said, got nothing better to do on Valentine's Day, because I'm also single.
Well, I'm not single. I'm just in lockdown. So
yeah, but you could like have a nice date time with Mr. Sage.
We had date time this morning. It was fine.
Whatever. You want to do, you have the choice to have more date time, is what I'm saying.
We do, but you see, the thing is, our dating anniversary is on the 4th of February, so we tend to celebrate that and not Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm sorry. That just is adorable. We're gonna jump into the next sprint soon, I promise everyone. Because we're probably going to end a little bit past the top of the hour because of all this chatting, but I want to get all 5 sprints in there, because I promise.
Totally fine.
Okay, Shanice is saying when she signs with an agent, she'll start a channel.
Okay.
I'm holding you to that. Thank you, Regina. Regina has read my books and is reading my current one that's out to alpha readers. Hannah is another alpha reader, which is why she was saying she read the first chapter and liked it, which I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I like short chapters because I think I need to write long, but I always think I need to write longer chapters because no one is going to be interested. But I feel like short chapters, and other people must like short chapters. I need to fix my brain. Yeah. No, I mean, I would rather have short chapters than long chapters if it had to be one way or the other, because it like adds the sense of like, you feel like you're moving through the story faster.
Yeah.
Like, even if your pacing is technically the same and you just like, just seeing the pages go by and be like, oh, I'm at this chapter, it makes you feel better and makes you want to keep going. So there's a psychological effect to it too.
But I also feel like a chapter is as long as a chapter needs to be. Like, as long as the break makes sense, then your chapter is the right length.
Yeah. Klacha said, my mom has a book and I opened it to find 10 chapters and 15 pages. Okay, those are very short chapters, but that reminds me of like a Maximum Ride book. So, bye, Mercer. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye.
Yeah, no, that siren is from outside me. I made my husband coffee and he's letting me work. Real life romance.
Yep.
Lockdown and tiny human means no date time. Occasionally we send her off to grandma's. Oh, that's cute. Letting, aka keeping the child distracted and happy. The longest, I just looked back at my longest chapter is 6,000 words and over 11 pages. 11 pages of like manuscript format. Because my chapters are like 8 to 10 pages formatted with the 2,000 and 3,000 words. Klacha died at our silence.
I'm sorry. No judgment.
No judgment. I just didn't know what to say. In the old days, Regina, you're not that old. Stop it. Yeah, I mean, to me, writing a 4,000 word chapter feels long to me, but reading it, it doesn't necessarily feel long, especially like what's happening. It's just for me, for some reason, getting that high on purpose is a struggle. I don't know. My brain taps out like 3,200 normally.
I think it all depends on what genre you're writing. Because pacing and like tension and that kind of thing.
Same thing. Both.
Yeah.
Yes, both agreed. Okay, we're going to move into the next sprint because there are 4 more comments because StreamYard just added one. But basically, write the chapter that your heart wants to. And then maybe if you send it out to alpha readers and they're all like, this is a really long chapter, can you break it up? Strongly consider it and multiple people tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, with that said, code link is in the chat. People have been sitting in the forest room for forever, so I appreciate all of your patience. Card is the not. I love my ring light, but you get in the way when I do these streams. Okay, is the 9 of Wands. And let me put my ring light back so I don't look like, I don't know, some monster hiding in the shadows.
You never look like a monster.
I'll take your word for it. 9 of Wands is like battle fatigue, like you've been struggling for a really long time, but you're really close to success, so keep going, is basically what the card is. So you can do that to give yourself a pep talk while you're writing, or to apply that to your character in your book, which I'm assuming you've been torturing anyway because we're authors and that's what we do to our characters. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. This is our final 20-minute sprint, but we have a 10-minute sprint after this, and we'll pretty much jump right into that after so we don't end too late. that was the end of our fourth and second to last sprint. How did people do? I'm setting up the final forest room, and I'm going to let Sage do the mathy math to figure out the progress.
293.
Woo! Not bad, not bad.
Not bad.
5, 8, 2, Delta, 3, Victor. Shoot, what's M?
Mike.
Mike. I should know that because I know multiple people named Mike, and I just can't remember for the life of me.
That's okay.
But I didn't have to look at the other ones. I remembered the other ones.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, forest room is linked in the chat. Gio was asking what other people are working on. Claudia was talking about how the last book that she wrote, the longest chapter in that book didn't even get to 4,000 words. So I was saying in the chat that Claudia is proof that chapter length depends on the story, because like I've only written romances so far, so all the pacing is similar. But Regina Duke and Hannah Reeves, among other people, have the second book in my Stellar Blood trilogy. I would show the first one, but I actually just sold all of my paperback copies of it. If you want a paperback copy, you can get it from my Ko-fi store, which is linked down below. So I need to fix the second one based on feedback. I have to write the third one. And then after that, I'm writing a standalone book that's not a romance. And I'm wondering if I feel like that's going to really change the pacing for the chapters.
Yeah.
We are doing a 10-minute. Finished chapter 3. Awesome. Task 2 is going along and is going to get some breakfast. Currently 187. I posted a link to Jesse's live stream that's happening in like an hour-ish from now. So that's in the chat too if people want to scroll up a bit. But we're going to jump into the next sprint in 3. Oh, card. Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so our card for this sprint is the Knight of Holy Water. Holy water is synonymous with cups if you are using a different tarot deck. And it represents someone who explores the unconscious and has insight into people's hidden motivations. So someone who is really intuitive and sees things that people maybe don't necessarily want them to see.
Yes. That is your optional writing prompt. It is currently ticking down at the bottom, although I just want to quickly remove the tree name from the ticker. And we're going to start once Sage.
I can't get it to stand up. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. that was the end of our final sprint this morning. How did people do?
Oh, I hate having to math.
Well, poor Klacha has to suffer through a class alert on weekends, even though they don't have class that day, because their teacher set the reminder for every day instead of weekdays only.
Oof. Sucks.
That's annoying. Also, Klacha typed nothing. Sako came in. I did a little bit of messaging on Instagram trying to figure out if and when we're doing another AuthorTube tarot party, which is basically a Trees and Tarot, but with more than just one co-host, where I theoretically don't pick any cards and I let all my guests pick cards. So that will be coming in March, but I don't know when yet. So I'll make an announcement closer to then. Regina, thank you. 56 for Hannah. 250. Words away from the goal. You can do it. There are writing sprints in basically an hour on Jesse Elliott's channel. And I will pop in a link to that again. So Jesse at noon EST. And then Sage. Oop, nope, wrong link. I did the correct link in the chat. I promise everyone. Okay. Karaoke. The chat is now basically just becoming a schedule for people.
Yep.
And then Sarah at 7 p.m. EST. So I said karaoke with Sage, so people know that that's not necessarily writing sprints. But yep. Jesse and Sarah are writing sprints. All the links are in the chat because I can never get StreamYard to let me edit my current video that I'm currently live on. I feel like other people have been able to, but I can never, so I don't know. Eva said, thank you so much for hosting. Had a blast and got a ton done. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Hannah said the sprints were productive for her, which is great. Carrie got a 3rd page written for. I don't know if that's for the whole stream or just for that sprint, but that's awesome. Actually, I want to leave that one up. Also, I know we're ending the stream, so but just a reminder, everyone, to save your work, really, and please like the stream on your way out because that's very helpful to my channel. Sage, why don't you do a little outro, and hopefully people will hear your intro again in a few hours when they go to your channel.
Awesome. Well, firstly, thank you for having me on. It was lovely as always. And then, hello, my beans, buns, and bunnies. My name is Sage Gordon-Davis, also known as MoonBunnyCreative. I am a poet, a writer, a doodler, and a dabbler. I stream 3 times a week on Twitch, once a week on YouTube. I'm not doing YouTube videos at the moment. I am on hiatus. But when I do videos, they come out every Sunday, usually at 5 p.m. South African Standard Time, which is 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern, depending on where the clocks are. Yes, I do things with words, and sometimes I do things not with words, but mostly I do things with words. So if that is your kind of thing, please hop over to my channel. I would love to see you.
Sage is great, so everyone should subscribe to them. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. I'm missing something, right?
No, that's where I'm most active. I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter.
Okay. I feel like most of AuthorTube is on Twitter, but not on Twitter. That's why I'm always like, I know you have an account. Do I promote it too? Okay. So that is Sage. And my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm a self-published author of young adult paranormal romance. I make videos about musical theater, my writing, and I host writing sprints every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. And every Friday on Twitch at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you all had fun today. Hope it was productive for you. And I hope to see you all very soon.